Hi, everybody, and welcome back. My name's Melissa, and this year I'm sharing 365 tips for frugal living. Now, this is a tip I have heard about and I have yet to try. So I figured I would try it kind of with you guys. So I had a bunch of orange peels. I can't even remember how I ended up with so many. Oh, I remember I was making marinade for my carne asada, and so I had all the orange peels left over after juicing. So I got like most of the white part off and all of the pulp, and they said to soak it in a jar with vinegar for a couple of weeks. So it's been in the jar with vinegar for a couple of weeks, and then I'm going to empty it out so that all the orange peels can be thrown away or composted. I have to see if I can compost them after vinegar's been on them. Probably. Um, but I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll tell you what I think. So you're going to see my kitchen is like really messy right now. It's halfway through the cleaning. I just made my kid mastacholi, and I have a huge mess to clean up. But I'll show you what I do and kind of give you my opinion of what I think is fine. Okay, let me move these. Okay, so I'm just going to pour it into another Prego jar because if you've watched, oh wow, did this? No, it did not. I just have weak hands. So I hurt my hand. I like slammed it in the door the other day, and now I have even weaker hands than usual. Wow, that orange hits you right away. Okay, so I think that the top ones seem like they may have gotten some air first, because like the bottom ones look all like orangey still. So, wow. I actually really I smell the citrus in here more than I really expected to. So I'm going to set these aside for now. And in order to make sure it's a 100% fair trial, I'm going to put it on a paper towel so nothing else is... Yeah, you can definitely still smell the orange. And obviously vinegar is a natural cleaner, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's a little pressure needed to clean up. I don't know if you can see where the pasta spilled, but I don't know. It seems like it worked well enough. So I can definitely smell more vinegar when it's out of the jar and on the counter. And once I've wiped everything down, I definitely can. So I'm going to leave that to sit for a couple of minutes. And then I'm going to come back and see if it feels sticky or if it feels clean, kind of, you know how like you can touch your counters and you can tell if they're clean or dirty or gross or what. So I'm going to go ahead and see how I like the cleaning power of it in this particular area. It was messy. I did have to use my nails to scrape some of the pasta sauce off, but I also wasn't using like a scrungy kind of a thing. So there was no texture. It was just a paper towel. So that doesn't surprise me. I wouldn't necessarily mark it off for that. My hands definitely, like, I don't really smell vinegar so much as I feel it in my nose, if that makes sense. But my nose has been like really weird when it gets cold now that I have Raynaud's. So yeah, so I'm going to leave it sit and I'll come back and check it in a couple of minutes with you then. Okay, so now it's had time to dry. I don't know. I feel like it feels a little gritty, but not too bad. I don't know. It could just be that it's different from my usual, but I feel like, and I could have maybe ended there and not realized because it feels gritty there and smoother here. So, I don't know. It dried nicely, I guess, right here. It feels like it should. Let me compare it to, yeah. It feels like it should here. I think I do actually kind of like it. All the counters feel kind of gritty right now, except for this area here that I just cleaned. So maybe I'll try it some more. Okay, so I finished cleaning the kitchen. I did use it all over. I got a old rag that's like a dish rag. It's like that waffly kind of material, so it's got some ability to scrub, but it's not like a scrub. And I kind of have mixed opinions. So I ended up having to go over everything with rubbing alcohol, despite vinegar is supposed to also sanitize. So I was confident in the sanitation, but it left like a gritty film all over all the counters. So where I thought that it wasn't gritty anymore, I think I just wiped the grit off because I had touched it enough. What I did really like it for was the microwave. I don't know if you can see, but it did make cleaning the microwave easier. But cleaning the microwave with vinegar in general is easier. Put it, I did heat the rag for like 30 seconds, so it was really hot. So you've got moisture, steam, vinegar. So I don't know if the orange really added anything to it. It did help again with cleaning off the stove. Actually, the stove. Oh, never mind. The center of the stove is gritty. I have to go over that. So I don't like the factor that it kind of left a gritty texture behind, regardless of whether I used a paper towel or a rag. I don't know if it's leaving little pieces of lint or what. It's not, it's like it's a very fine grit. If you know anything about sandpaper, it's like, I think it's like what, a 480 or something like that really, really fine where you can barely feel it. Very more powdery, but if you happen to have orange peels left, would I try it again? Absolutely. Would I experiment with it? Yes. Would I go out of my way to get oranges specifically for it? No. Would I choose oranges over another fruit because I could make this? No. But if I had leftover orange peels, I would try it again, because it definitely, I mean, the kitchen smells more like oranges than vinegar, though I can still smell the vinegar. Just ever so slightly. But again, that could be me. And the factor that I'm more sensitive to a lot of different scents than a lot of people are. But go ahead and give it a try if you have leftover orange peels. Vinegar in general is a great way to clean. I did think about it. You're not even supposed to compost orange peels. Like, they're supposed to go through a special process. And vinegar, I did look it up. Vinegar can throw off the acidity level of your compost. So I did just toss the orange peels in the trash, but I wasn't going to compost them anyways. I completely forgot about that when I was doing the first part of the video, because sometimes it really sucks to have a bad memory at times. But anyways, orange peels and vinegar, I let it soak for 2 weeks. It did come out to like an orangey color. I feel like it's got like a little bit of the grit in it, and that might be part of the reason why there's grit on it. If you have to strain it, I don't know if it's worth the work. But go ahead, give it a try if you have leftover oranges, or leftover orange peels, but don't go out of your way to try it. Like, don't go out and buy this stuff for it. I wouldn't say it's any better. Okay, so one thing I do want to add to the thing, I don't know where I'm going to put this in. I don't know if I'm going to cut it off and add it at the end, so I'll kind of go through the whole spiel. So, while the vinegar mix did, an okay job cleaning, what it helped with, so yesterday I slammed my hand in the door. It really stinking hurt. Like, I hit my door was kind of like my sliding glass door. It was like kind of stiff and bumpy, so I cleaned the track and I put some silicone spray on it yesterday, or a couple of days ago. So yesterday when I went to close it, I was closing it and I wasn't expecting it to close so fast, and it slammed into my hand and slammed it into the door jamb. It was a very, very unpleasant thing for me. So I got really, really badly injured. You can still see the cut there. And I mean, like, not badly, like have to go to the doctor, but like it really hurt. And I had to go to work and like lift stuff, and like it really hurt the whole day. But it was like all swollen there, and like it's still a little swollen, but today it had gotten so bad it was swollen all in here too. And like you can see, like there's a difference in like pliability to the hand. So I kind of panicked because it was like right on a vein and stuff. And I thought, oh my goodness, does this mean that when the swelling went down, I was like, oh, it feels so good. And then I was like, oh, wow, wait, does that mean like it was blood? But then I looked it up, and apparently there's something called edema. So if I don't die, we'll know it was edema. And if you're seeing this video, we'll know that's what it was. But I couldn't figure out why the swelling suddenly disappeared, because it went from like super swollen to just like gone. And normally if you have swelling, it like kind of gradually comes and then gradually fades. It doesn't just like go away in like 10-20 minutes. So why was my hand like continuing to swell and then stopped and went away? So I did look, and there is limited scientific evidence to vinegar helping with edema, and it specifically is related to edema around your ankles. But apparently edema is just swelling outside of a joint. So I think that it may have helped with the swelling, but that's also probably because I was like constantly cleaning with it. And you know, like when you clean the rag, kind of like you're holding it, but like as you're holding it, it like kind of gets in between and stuff. So yeah, so I am going to, the next time I have swelling, I am going to try it again. So I think I'm going to keep some of this in general and see if it also can substitute in for first aid. And I'm going to look and see if I can find more information on that online under like homeopathic stuff and everything. And again, I'm not a doctor. This is just incredibly exciting because I was like the results were a little lackluster, if you ask me. And my hands, just FYI, my hands still smell like vinegar. But the fact that the swelling's gone down and my hand doesn't hurt really. I mean, like, it's still a little sore, but like, it really, really, really hurt an hour ago. So it may have other purposes. I'll go ahead and look that up. But before I forgot, I did want to jump on and really quickly mention that. So again, my name's Melissa. This year I am sharing 365 tips for frugal living. If you want to hear more, please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.